Hello and welcome back to All Things Trentside. Welcome back, guys. I hope you're all well. It's not been that long since we spoke again. This is going to be my match preview for the Fulham game. I appreciate that it's a very short notice. Hopefully going to upload it early in the morning, so if you're listening to it, then great. If you are listening to it later on in the day and you've only just seen me that I've uploaded it, then I haven't got around to doing it. It's been such a busy schedule for me, of course, with doing a preview and review of both games, especially with games coming thick and fast. But as I said, hopefully we're going to be able to change that and look into that next season. I might, have to just do one big preview and one big review of the games, but we'll have to see once season's over, why am I going to change it now? It'd be weird for all the 15 people who listen to the video. But no, honestly guys, if you are still keeping up with the videos and listening to them religiously, I really appreciate it. Support means a lot, and hopefully you're enjoying it. But yeah, as I was saying, games are coming thick and fast. As Forest now coming to the last 5 games of the season. Bit of taste, of course, after what happened on Saturday against Derby with the late equaliser. I don't really want to dwell on that too much, as Forest need to dust themselves off and go again against another promotion chaser in the shape of Fulham, as we welcome them to the City Ground with the kick-off at 5 o'clock. It's live on Sky Sports if you do want to watch it. And of course, I say people not the Colin Frey commentary or buy it on iFollow. But yeah, just to let you know, there are the ways that you can watch the game. But will people be tuning in, especially after what happened on Saturday? Forest's positive performance and throwing away really bizarre circumstances. Really, we talked about it in the review of the Derby game. But yeah, Forest need to pick themselves up now and give it a real good push for the last 5 games of the season. Hopefully the people, the pundits and ourselves and other fans don't look back at the Derby game and that was the point where Forest's season really began to fall apart. But welcome to a Fulham side who haven't been in the best form in lockdown. I'll come on to that in a moment. Let's just go for the team news first. As for Forest, for a change, we have no injury concerns with all the players coming through unscathed after the game against Derby, which is always good to see. I know Ryan Yates picked up a bit of a knock, and Sam Bassal was doubts if he'd be 100% fit, getting up to match fitness, but he plays 60 minutes. It'll be interesting to see if Lamucci sticks with him, gets him more minutes under his belt to try and get him fit for the running and what looks like will be a playoff spot for Forest. Thiago Silva and Sammy Amiobi are also pushing for starts after missing the Derby game and making impact when they come on. Amiobi with his nifty footwork and Thiago Silva hitting the post. You wouldn't really know who Lamucci would change at the moment, due to, of course, how well Da Costa played. And, probably you'd say without our strongest team, you'd have to take Ryan Yates out of that. So, and Ryan Yates post lockdown has been a different animal, different type of player, altogether, proving the doubt was wrong. So it'll be interesting to see what Lamucci goes for. There's obviously talk that people say, do you think he'll drop Joe Worrell or Bryce Samble, because he's done it before in the past when a player's made a mistake. I very much doubt he will. They've been the backbone of our team this season. Why change it now? So it probably will more or less be the same team against Derby. I can see probably Da Costa dropping to the bench and allowing Amiobi to come in. It's just rotation as well, more than anything, rather than it's because they played poorly. It's not that at all. And to keep legs fresh going forward, of course, with the running and, like I say, the playoffs potentially. That's enough for Forest. As for Fulham, the big news really come out a few weeks back, really, when Fulham played Leeds. The second game after lockdown had been lifted for football, and that was Alexander Mitrovic was suspended for 3 games, and this will be his last game of that 3-match ban that he misses. And it depends which way you look at it for Fulham, really. They've done okay since he's not been playing. Two wins against Birmingham, and I can't remember who the other one was against now. I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, was against... I'm actually just trying to quickly Google this. I thought I'd do it quicker so you lot would think I actually, knew who they played. I did do my research. I just completely forgot who Fulham played before the Birmingham game, and it'll come to me soon. Yeah, against QPR. Didn't really no, but just googled it now. They did beat QPR as well, but 2 wins out of 2 without their main talisman, which is pretty impressive. I don't think Forest could do that. If Grabham was to miss 3 games, for whatever, for injury, suspension, or whatever. I mean, touch wood, he don't, because he's been an integral part to our plans. Same as Mitrovic, but I don't think Forest would cope as much as they have. But I think they have played people, who haven't really tested them. We've seen when Mitrovic did play against teams like Leeds and Brentford, where they lost back-to-back games. They struggled, but obviously, of course, against teams that aren't up and around this season, they've managed to swat aside. I mean, what cost? But Mitrovic now coming back for the run is a big boost for them, especially with their fixtures coming up. But Fulham still do have a chance for the top 2. Real dent into their season, losing back-to-back games in lockdown to the promotion rivals, Brentford and Leeds. They've lost a few players as well. The key players, say, Mitrovic, Kamara, he's set to miss out again tomorrow, and Alfie Mawson's been a long-term absentee, but they managed to hold their own, say, back-to-back wins, and now hopefully this can push them on as well. It's going to be an interesting game tomorrow. Now, looking at the form guide going into this game, Forest are now unbeaten in 4 games. I mean, I know probably it should really be 4 wins out of 4, but instead it's 2 wins, 2 draws. But there's now a chance for Forest to go 5 games unbeaten since we went 7 games unbeaten between, I think, the back end of December and the start of January. I think it started just after the Huddersfield game when we went to Hull and won 2-0 on Boxing Day. And then we lost that unbeaten run when we went to Birmingham and lost. Looking for 3 wins in a row at home for the first time since we beat Wigan, Blackburn and Luton. So in the back end of the end of 2019 and at the start of 2020. I'm looking to continue. We'll say about Forest, struggle against the lesser teams in the division, if you will. But their form against the top 6 this season has been near enough immaculate. 5 wins, 2 losses and 2 draws. The 2 losses coming against Cardiff and West Brom. But 5 wins is incredible, especially against some of the calibre of teams up there. It's just such a shame when you look at Forest and they have that sort of record against the top 6, and there's some teams that we should be beating that we lost to this season. But I mean, especially say that about vice versa, really. Leeds game we could have really lost, West Brom game as well, at the Hawthorn. So you never know with Forest, but they're looking to continue this good run and probably puts us a step closer into the playoffs. The gap is at 7 points at the moment. Of course, again, after Derby, if we would have been 9 points ahead now, and would have been only a few wins away of securing that playoff spot, but can take a giant step tomorrow because Derby have a hard fixture as well going into against West Brom, so they could do us a favour. But again, you look at it, maybe you never know in the Championship if we win and then we close the gap to West Brom again. And if Derby go there and win, you don't know. But Forest are looking to take one step closer to securing that playoff spot and regaining their position off Fulham, which they lost at the weekend, with Fulham jumping to 4th. As to Fulham, like I say, they have won back-to-back games now since losing their first 2 games since the restart, and still have that slim chance of making the top 2. But again, the gap is 7 points between them and West Brom. They'd have to win tomorrow and hope Derby do them a favour, which I think Derby fans are hoping. It's one of them. I think we're hoping for West Brom to do us a favour, and Fulham fans are hoping for Derby to do them a favour. West Brom are hoping for us to do them a favour. And it's one of them connection boards. I think it's the meme of the guy from is it Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Is it the show? And when he's in the film with Ice Cube and he's just like going mental for the all the drawings on the wall. But anyway, I digress. They really, left it late to win their second game last since coming back since lockdown. Josh Onoma scored a 96th minute winner against Fulham. Against Fulham, would have been good if he did. He scored a 96th minute winner against Birmingham to give Fulham back-to-back wins. They're looking to win 3 games in a row for the first time since November when they won 4 in a row. And I think that's what Fulham's problem has been this season. Like we talk about Forest inconsistencies, Fulham have been, really, really inconsistent going forward. Like I say, they're not won 4 games in a row since November. They've slipped up against, the likes of Luton, Reading, Charlton and Barnsley in the past. I believe Barnsley just was before the lockdown when Barnsley went to Craven Cottage and won 3-0. So it just shows that Fulham do have them inconsistencies, and that's probably the reason why they probably will miss out on automatic promotion. again, coming back from the restart as well, sluggish start, losing to Brentford. The gap really was there then for closing down. Obviously, we didn't know what was going to happen between Leeds and Cardiff when Leeds went there and lost 2-0. So it would have given Fulham a chance then to go to Ellen Road and get something and then make the promotion race interesting. But they went to Ellen Road and lost 3-0, and probably a bridge too far for them now, especially if they do lose tomorrow. They did also lose 3 games in a row before the Xmas period. The Christmas period. It's because I've got Xmas wrote down in my notes. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. They do play Cardiff and West Brom in their last 2 games. So, I mean, we talk about Fulham's slim chance of automatic promotion. We could also talk about Forest. I know there's another team involved in the likes of Brentford, but when the chance comes to talk about Forest maybe closing the gap on automatic promotion, I'll touch on Brentford a lot more. But at the moment, I don't really see the point of talking about automatic promotion. For me, it's the playoffs, and hopefully Fulham can. If we beat them tomorrow, they might do us a favour and beat Cardiff in a few weeks' time, and then that should really be Forest place in the playoffs sorted. But that's how the teams go into both the game. You know, both teams in a bit of a good form now. Looking to end the season strongly. It's always the case now going into playoffs with a bit of good form. And of course, we could say but we could still get automatic promotion. But at least going into the playoffs in a bit of good form will give everyone a boost. Going back to the previous meetings, Forest won the game earlier in the season, a 2-1 victory when Lewis Grabban got a brace. It was a real, I'm trying to think the right word, eye-opening result for people. We weren't expected to go there and get nothing. Fulham were the team who they kept Mitrovic, they'd spent money going forward. Forest really, wasn't going to do anything under Lamucci, according to many pundits, but we went there, played some lovely football. Probably our goal of the season, the first goal we scored against Fulham, where I think everyone touched the ball and then Grabban tapped it in at the back post. Mitrovic did reply, but it was too late. I think that was Samba's first league game as well. So yeah, we know how to beat Fulham. I say that, it's been a very mixed bag of results. We're back at that. Normally I think it was at the Derby game I finally managed to talk about a team that we actually had good results over in the past. In the last 9 games, it's been 4 wins for each team, only 1 draw apiece. And Fulham are looking to win back-to-back games at the City Ground since their promotion winning season when they won 3-1 in their last visit. However, Forest haven't won back-to-back games against Fulham since doing the double over them in the 15-16 season when we had the gold for Wazkit. And in the home game, we were beaten 3-0. Matt Mills scored 2, and I believe Chris O'Grady got the other. I mean, I'd be damned if that is the case. I know Matt Mills got 2, and I know he nearly got a hat-trick, but unfortunately the crossbar denied him, which would have been a very I was there moment. I've just had a look. Yeah, Chris O'Grady scored. I mean, if he was at that game, that's a very, very rare collector's item. Chris O'Grady scoring and Matt Mills getting the double. But yeah, we're looking for our back-to-back wins there. We normally, looking at when I was doing my research for this game, we normally play better at Craven Cottage. I think 2-3 of our wins of the 4 that I mentioned have been at Craven Cottage. There was the 5-3 win at Assombalonga, got the hat-trick in Stuart Pearce's game when Fulham had just come down from the Premier League. So we can beat them home and away. We've proved that, and hopefully we can maybe disrupt them going forward as well. Just get in the mindset if we ever do play them in the playoffs or the playoff final or the playoff semi-final that we've beat you twice kind of thing. Now we move on to the key player for Fulham. Normally would be everyone would probably pick Alexander Mitrovic, but obviously he's suspended, so I won't be able to pick him. So I've gone for Fulham's other talisman, and that's Tom Kearney, the centre attacking midfielder who was born in Nottingham. Actually, I don't think he is a Forest fan though. I believe I read something that he's a Celtic fan. I say we digress. No matter who he supports, he is a very good player. He's Fulham's second top goal scorer this season with 8 goals, and also has 3 assists to his name. When I was reading that, I was very surprised that he's only got 3 assists. I was expecting him to have more assists than goals, but he can pop up with an assist or 2 when it matters, and a great strike as well, especially from set pieces. He'll be one to watch. There's a few other players to mention as well, especially mention even Cavallero. I think he's a very good player, very athletic, powerful winger, kind of like a more smaller Amiobi kind of thing with more strength really. Bobby Reid as well. He's always a danger man. I don't know if he loves a goal against Forest or not. A lot of strikers love a goal against Forest, so I'll have to see. But yeah, that's in regards to the team news. And we're on to probably everyone's favourite time of the video, and that's Ref Watch. I don't know why I even started doing Ref Watch. I mean, I don't think people are bothered who the referee is as long as it's not Keith Stroud. I'm going to say that, and Keith Stroud's going to be Forest's next referee, isn't it? But in all seriousness, as long as he referees the game well, I don't think Forest care who referees. The referee's Robert Jones, which if you'd have watched my first preview back for the Sheffield Wednesday game, he was the referee for that. And you also know then he refereed the QPR game as well. We drew 0-0. So hasn't seen ref the Forest victory yet. I don't know if that's a good omen or not. More surprisingly, he hasn't ref the Fulham game in the league this season. I had a look, and I don't think he has refereed a game unless my sources are wrong. I know at the university they did say Wikipedia wasn't a reliable source, so sorry, but from what I could see, he hasn't refereed a game. He only refereed the 0-0 game against Southampton for Fulham in the FA Cup. They lost 1-0. I think it was the third round he refereed in that. So yeah, hasn't really got much to say about Fulham as well. So maybe been involved in much really. 3 games and only seen three goals, and really the Sheffield Wednesday game was a bit weird. Didn't really have much to do in that post lockdown. So going forward, hopefully again, as I say with all the referees normally, I hope he has a good game. But yeah, that's really all the team news and all I've got to say on the matter really. For me, for Forest now, it's about how we react and pick ourselves up after the disappointment of Saturday, especially coming out and feeling like it was a loss and should have killed the game off. It's Forest's big problem, and they need to show their ruthless side if we are to take our game to the next level and show people to fear us in the playoffs, because you always feel if you got a 1-goal lead against Forest, we are good at seeing it out sometimes, but we're also good at shooting ourselves in the foot. So it is a tough one to take still. I think it's a sour taste in the mouth. It will fade. They probably will taste better if Derby miss out on the playoffs and we do, and then it's all forgotten about. But these are all ifs and buts. It's just all about how Forest play out their game, and as you'll see, probably with all 4 of our remaining fixtures, they're all playing teams who are in and around there. Swansea, Preston, both trying to just maybe get themselves a slim chance at the playoffs. So depending on what happens in the next few games, that might make a few games easier. And then we've got 2 teams that are fighting off relegation to League One, which they don't want, Barnsley and Stoke. So it's going to be interesting for Forest, and they need to make sure they're on their game. They've been probably 90% there against since the restart. How they've played going forward and letting other teams come onto them and hitting them on the counter attack. It's just seeing the game out. Did it well against Bristol City. We couldn't do it against Derby or Sheffield Wednesday though. Questions will. I think I'll always ask the question if you look at the games where Michael Dawson wasn't brought on and was brought on, and what the results were. But that's why I don't get paid to make them decisions. Sabri Lamucci does, and I'll say in Sabri we trust really. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see the game going forward, because it could be a dress rehearsal for either the playoff final or the playoff semi-final, of course, if both teams are to get there. So unless it's a late surge to the top 2 or one of them just completely has a capitulation now. I mean, hopefully when I'm saying that, hopefully it's Fulham rather than us, but you never know in the Championship and football. So it's going to be a good game tomorrow, I think. High intensity. I think again we're just going to let Fulham have the majority of the ball. That's how they like to play under Scott Parker. Some really creative players there. We're just going to hit them on the counter attack. Be interesting to see the team news as well. Like I say, with Ryan Yates, playing as we did against Derby. Will he continue in that more deeper line role with no Wayne Rooney to mark? So there's always loads of questions. You never know, especially in this day and age. There's so many questions to ask about football. You never know. You never know what the answer's going to be. But all we do know is that Forest have another game. Games are coming thick and fast, and we do know that we need to carry on continuing our decent run of form going forward to take that into the playoffs. Hopefully, of course, keep mentioning it. I just don't want to jinx it. But yeah, guys, thanks for listening. Again, it's a very very put together video. It's so hard trying to do a preview review. That's why I say when I do eventually sit down and look at the channel at the end of the season, I'm going to see what changes need to be made going forward. But as always, guys, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Say if you're listening to it on your lunch break or just in the garden or out and about, I do appreciate the support. Again, any feedback, I do appreciate it. As the usual, I sound like a proper YouTuber now. Like, comment and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Share on social media. The more views, the better. I just want to show people, there is a podcast out there for everyone, and what Forest fans can listen to. I know there's a few out there, and again, if you are listening to these guys and you want to have a collaboration, I'd love to do so. But yeah, guys, cheers for watching the video. Cheers for all the support. I know it's a really, a lot to take in when I keep uploading this frequently, but bear with me. There will be changes coming. I can guarantee that, but at the moment, this is how I'm going to set the channel up. So there will be probably a gap between the Tuesday and the Saturday game, but we will see. And like I say, I digress. I always have to make these endings shorter. But cheers, guys. Thanks for listening to me ramble on again. Hope you've enjoyed it. Enjoy the game tomorrow. I'll speak to you on Wednesday. I will be uploading the review of the game. But take it easy, guys. Stay safe. And as always, go on, you Reds.